Hello and welcome to this episode of Scope. I'm Tracy Pa. Preparation for the Pope's visit have intensified as the country counts down to September 6th, when the Pontiff is scheduled to arrive here in Port Moresby. With several days remaining, the Church is well ahead with its preparation, with all accreditation closed, liturgical preparation in advanced stage, and church venues sorted for Pope's visit, all ready to receive him. The National Capital District Commission has also stepped up in its efforts to have the city ready for the visit. The government has allocated funds for the visit, both in Port Moresby and Vanimo, and will accord the Pope the same protocols it accords to all heads of state.
On the 12th of April this year, the Vatican confirmed the Pope's visit to the Asia and Oceania region. The Catholic Bishops' Conference of Papua New Guinea and Solomon Islands, in a media conference a few days later, confirmed the Pope's visit and announced the start of preparatory work for the visit. With Father Lawrence Arokiaraj appointed General Coordinator of the papal visit, areas of responsibility were identified, committees established, and persons appointed to lead each committee. The work of these committees has now come to fruition, with the Catholic Church in PNG announcing its readiness for the September 6th to 9th visit by the Pope.
So far things are going well. I'm grateful to all the subcommittees who are working well. So hopefully things will, by next week, we will be completing all the necessary work from the church. I think the government is also doing well from their part with all the organizing thing. So from the church side, we are set and we are happy to have this update done.
A closer look at the different areas of work. Accreditation of pilgrims from outside Port Moresby was done through the dioceses. A coordinator was appointed in each of the 19 dioceses, and they were instructed to register 100 people from each diocese. For Port Moresby Archdiocese, accreditation was done through the different parishes, and at the close of accreditation last week, 34,000 devout Roman Catholics were registered to participate in the papal mass at the Sir John Guy's Stadium on the 8th of September. The call for registration was done considering the seating capacity of the stadium and for security reasons.
The total capacity is the main outdoor stadium is 25,000. We also took the field nearby, that's 10,000, so almost 35,000. We have already accredited 34,000. So it's like we keep 1,000 reserve in case if anything happens in the last minute. So it's already 34,000 already completed accreditation.
Passes for the accredited will be issued when they settle into the host parishes. VIPs and members of the clergy will be issued passes, while the general Christian population will be issued wristbands.
When it comes to the diocese, is the diocesan coordinator who is responsible for collecting the wristband, which is going to have that is an entry pass to come into the stadium for both the Mass, the Holy Mass on Sunday, also the youth program on Monday. When it comes to the diocese in Port Moresby, it will be the different parish priest who will be responsible. We will deliver to the parish priest. They will be the ones responsible to deliver to the people who are going to attend the both Holy Mass and the Monday youth program.
With the Pope set to visit the Don Bosco Technological Institute and Caritas Girls Secondary School, these two institutions are also ahead of their preparations. At DBTI, the Pope will be addressing the clergy, but not without greeting some 2,000 people who have also been accredited to participate in this visit.
We've been preparing by putting all the things in order, the choir, the papal entourage messages, and of course, the most important part is the spiritual preparation. We don't simply want it to be like a gathering, but an encounter with the successor of Christ, who is the 266th successor, Pope Francis.
Liturgy preparations for the Eucharistic Mass at the stadium on the 8th of September are all set. A total of 4,000 marshals will work with police on the day to control the crowd. 500 communion ministers will participate in the distribution of Holy Communion. Hundreds of people identified to help distribute water, St. John's Ambulance will be available to attend to emergencies. Coaches will be available to pick and drop people off between the Unagi Oval and the stadium. The Unagi Oval will be the designated car park and pick up and drop off point.
Preparation for liturgy is going on well. So we already have 500 communion ministers who are trained, and also we have Martians, 4,000 Martians. Also they are undergoing training. So they will be the one guiding the people to do inside the stadium, Jangai Stadium. So things are going well. Also youth program is set. So we have things are going under well.
The choir group for Sunday's Mass are well ahead with their preparations. About 350 sick people will be given space for the Pope to bless on the day. Seats have been reserved for this special group of people. Travel arrangements for the Pope to Vanimo are also set. A PNGDF barge is on its way to Vanimo to deliver fuel and the Pope's vehicle, among other things needed for the preparations in Vanimo. The Australian Air Force will assist with flying the Pope to Vanimo and back. Back in Port Moresby, the Vatican Embassy at Korobosia will be the official place of residence for the Pope over the 3 days. The Youth Festival on Monday morning, 9th of September at the stadium is all set. Youths from across the country will meet and greet the Pope before he flies off to Dili.
After the break, Highlands host first dawn service in remembrance of servicemen lost during operations in the Highlands. On the morning of Tuesday, 23rd July 2024, the Papua New Guinea Defence Force Contingent Command Headquarters Highlands Region hosted for the first time a Remembrance Day dawn service in Mount Again, Western Highlands Province. The 43rd service held at Queen's Park is an extension of the Remembrance Day service that has long been observed in main centres like Port Moresby and Lae, and most recently Western Highlands Province, who played host to this significant memorial event.
On the 23rd of July 1942, approximately 1,000 meters from Awala village, the PIB of Pacific Infantry or Papua Infantry Battalion barefooted soldiers fired their first shot. It was then, today apart from other days, marked to commemorate the sacrifice they made for our peace that we enjoy today. On this day, we remember with pride their courage, their compassion, and their comradeship. We also remember our allies that fought alongside them for our freedom during the campaigns in Papua New Guinea during World War II. We remember and honor those who died or were wounded or missing in the tragedy of war. We remember and honor them for what they have accomplished for our nation and have left us a splendid heritage. May we prove worthy of their sacrifice.
For 43 years, the Papua New Guinea Defence Force has commemorated the day the Papuan barefoot soldiers fired their first shot through the annual hosting of the Remembrance Day dawn service. This significant memorial event has grown over the years to not only observe the sacrifices of the men who served their country, Papua New Guinea, alongside the Allied forces during World War II. Moreover, has taken on new meaning to remember those who have come to serve after, countless others who also paid the ultimate price with their lives.
It is customary in the Papua New Guinea Defence Force that on every Remembrance Day where the troops are deployed, there's a moment in this time, early hours of the morning, when members of the forces get us together and say a word of prayer and also acknowledge the past personnel who have lost their lives and sacrifice. This is a very important part and tradition of our military.
Colonel Michael Banda said the 23rd of July is also a day of reflection for the members of the Papua New Guinea Defence Force.
We must not forget sacrifices made by our members of the Defence Force who have lost their lives in the duty to protect our values. Justice, freedom, and equality for any country comes with sacrifices. It is also the duty of our current personnel and our citizens to also uphold these values that has been fought for through different ways, so that we can also embrace the values that was given down to us through our generation. What it means today in the changing and global events that is taking place, and equally the challenges that we are faced with certain issues within our country. We have a duty to ensure, to protect the values that our forefathers have fought for.
The inaugural Remembrance Day dawn service in Mount Hagen honored 29 men from the Highlands region who lost their lives during service for the PNG Defence Force. As their names were recited on the Roll of Honour, members of the PNG Defence Force, the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary, Correction Service personnel, and the people of Mount Hagen solemnly listened.
This Roll of Honor has the names of all the members of Highlands who have lost their lives in the course of duty for the protection of this beautiful country of Papua New Guinea and the peace we enjoy today. From Western Highlands Province, Lieutenant A1, A Company 1 RPIR, KIA in North Solomons Province, 1996. Corporal Waki, duty, National Capital District. Enga Province, Private Luke Kende, Delta Company, 1st Battalion, killed in action, North Solomons Province, 1994. Lieutenant Kenny Ayer, Charlie Company, 1st Battalion, killed in action, North Solomons Province, 1996. Corporal Napao, Delta Company, 1st Battalion, killed in action, North Solomons Province, 1996.
This honor roll was presented to Western Highlands Governor Y. Rapa, who vowed to ensure an annual budget for this service to continue into the future.
Soldiers, always this Remembrance Day is always conducted in the coastal areas where there were battles, wars were taking place. But now I come to realize that many of those soldiers who died come from Western Islands and other parts of the island region. The Defence Force, those of you here today, I would like to thank you. The work that you're doing, it carries a lot of risk to save the country. But thank you.
The event witnessed the laying of wreaths honoring the men of the Highlands region and the recital of the Ode of Remembrance by retired Lieutenant Colonel Funge.
I shall not grow old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. We will remember them.
The annual Remembrance Day dawn service commemorates our forefathers who, in a time of need took up arms in the call of defense and fought off the invading Japanese alongside our allies. More so, the day calls for Papua New Guineans from all walks of life to remember all the members of not just the Papua New Guinea Defense Force but the country's disciplined forces, all together who served and lost their lives in Bougainville and various deployments at the borders and within the country on the 23rd of July.
It is also a very important that the future generation and our current generation must understand the importance of the values that our forefathers have sacrificed for. For the values that we embrace today can be easily taken away if we do not embrace it well enough and if we do not respect the values that we want to live with and the values that we aspire, that we want our future generations to live with.
When we come back, Joint Task Force show empathy for the dead and the grieving in Mulitaka. On 24th May 2024, a devastating landslide struck Yambul in Mulitaka, Enga Province. Within 2 hours, the Task Force Command at Quarters Islands region mobilized their efforts to support the people of Mulitaka. In the lead-up to Remembrance Day on the 23rd of July, on the 21st of July, members of the task force held a small yet significant service for the people of Mulitaka who are left grieving for the 9 they have buried at the temporary care center only 200 meters away from the site of the disaster. Unconfirmed are the numbers of people buried by the Yambul Mulitaka landslide of 24th May 2024. Many fear the numbers reach as far as 2,000. The surviving people of Mulitaka who lost their homes, property, and most significantly, members of their families now live in care centers. In the lead-up to the inaugural Dawn Service program, the Task Force Command Headquarters, Highlands Region, on Sunday 21st July commemorated the lives of the 9 buried at the temporary care center at Mulitaka and the numbers of unconfirmed dead buried beneath at rubble of the landslide only 200 meters away. Colonel Banda, PNGDF's Chief of Joint Operations Branch, who oversees the Task Force Command Headquarters, Highlands Region, highlighted the critical work and the role the PNGDF play in the face of challenges faced by the country in the most volatile yet hub of economic development of the country. Despite losses of life, the challenges faced on the security front still remain.
Defense Forces have a huge footprint in the islands. And so when the disaster happened, Mulitaka, or even the disaster that happened in Chimbu, we retasked the force elements that were on the ground to attend to the issues and support the local authorities. And so yeah, we deployed troops there in the first 2 hours or so, and stabilize the situation, assess the situation correctly, inform the government, and that started the process of relief effort operations, which
came from all our partners.
Colonel Banda emphasized the significant role played by the PNG Defense Force in the Highlands region.
Islands operations has been a very big, huge part of the Defense Force commitment to support the islands operations. And so in doing so, the Defense Force has been supporting the police, in particular the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary in the state of emergency in the last 8 years and so. But so in the supporting the state of emergency, the Defense Force commitment to other areas are also I think it's important that we make a mention, including key assets protections, such as the ExxonMobil, POGRA operations that we have to support, and other economic development in terms of nation building. We support the reconstruction of the National Islands Highway, which is very important to all of the islands region and for the country. And equally, other areas of the energy, including power, supporting the power upgrade in the islands region. And so the islands region, operations here is quite different from security operations to economic protections and nation building. So Defense Force has a huge footprint here since in the last 8 years.
Task on the 23rd of July, when the country commemorated those whose lives have been lost in the service to this nation, and the members of the PNGDF in the Highlands who honored those lost in Mulitaka. It is important also to recognize the sacrifices and efforts of those now serving in the DF and its sister disciplined forces.
I would like to thank all our members of the Defense Force who are currently deployed within the islands operations on behalf of our Acting Commander Polawara for your duty and sacrifice to also support our government at the provincial level, at the national level, and also working alongside our members of the police forces and the correctional services and all our government agencies right across the islands region to once again support and ensure that we are committed to protect our values, working side with all our citizens and our population in this beautiful country.
And that wraps up another edition of Scope. Thanks for your company. Good night.